How's it going, everyone? Today I wanted to go over whether or not you should or should not buy a BMW F30 M Sport, specifically the 328i with the manual transmission. So I've owned this car for close to 4 years, and in those 4 years I've put about 58,000 miles on this car, which is a little crazy. But today this car will be sold, and I'm gonna go over the reasons why you should or should not buy this car, why you should or should not buy this car, who this car is for, the strengths and weaknesses of the car, and my overall ownership experience with the car after 4 years and close to 60,000 miles. All right. So first thing we should go over is what this car is good at. I'd say this car is the perfect blend of practicality, luxury, sportiness. I think this car is really refined for what it is, and it kind of blends everything together in a seamless package. So I'd say this car is good for for someone looking for a sporty but still comfortable daily driver, something that kind of ticks all the boxes. So that's really why I bought this car when I was first looking at this close to 4 years ago. I needed something that was a manual, rear-wheel drive, could sit 5 adults and was still comfortable and practical. And this car was kind of like a blend of all the past cars that I've driven. So I've had a BRZ, a Z4, a Volkswagen GTI, like various Hondas, and I think this car was kind of like a perfect combination of all of those cars combined together. It's smooth, it handles well, it's quiet in the cabin, and there's a really big community for F30 enthusiasts. So this is, I would say, a perfect all-in-one car, because typically when you're looking at all-in-one cars, there's some kind of compromise that you're making, right? Like with this car, I think you're not compromising on a lot. I mean, it's not the lightest car, it's about 3,500 pounds, but it's also not the heaviest. My ownership experience with this car has been really pleasant. The last 3.5, close to 4 years. I mean, it's never given me any issues. It's never left me stranded. I've had a lot of fun working on this car and modifying things. So I've replaced the suspension with Bilstein B14 coilovers, FTP charge pipe and boost pipe, which is a common failure point on these cars. I've gotten brand new OEM thermostat, water pump, radiator. So I've got an aluminum radiator, an aluminum intercooler, the larger diameter, aluminum hose flange, brand new hoses. I've done all of the fluids twice, basically. So brake fluid, coolant, manual transmission fluid, differential fluid, and the oil, obviously. Spark plugs and coils I've done twice. So I've done a lot of maintenance on this car. I've done the brake rotors and brakes once. I've basically gone over this car with a fine-tooth comb. And I'd say, for what it's worth, man, I mean, I've spent thousands of dollars maintaining this car, but I see it as a worthy investment, because at the end of the day, there's just nothing like this on the road for the price, and with the same characteristics. Okay, now let's get into the cons, what the car isn't good at. So this car only has about 240 and 250-ish horsepower, so it's not the fastest. I mean, it's definitely quick, but you're not going to win any drag race awards in this car. It also handles decently enough, but it also doesn't handle the best either. I'd say, of course, my BRZ handled way better, my Z4 handled way better, even my fiance has two E46 ZHPs. I would say those handle a tad better. And I only say better because the steering feel is just feels more responsive. It gives you a lot of feedback. The steering feel is more true, it's more raw in those cars. This car has electronic power steering and has, you know, kind of like electronic steering, so I mean the feedback is good enough, but it's not as communicative compared to those cars, right? Those cars are kind of like analog and very direct steering. I will say the steering ratio in this car, it's very quick, so it responds to your inputs basically immediately, and so no complaints there. So it's not the fastest, it doesn't handle the best, but again, for a car like this, it's basically like you're blending all these things into one package, and so it's really hard to have like A+ attributes in all of these categories in one, right? Like you're basically cutting corners in each of the stats that you're looking to achieve. Yeah, this car pulls. But basically, I mean, some of the other cons that this car has is it's a turbocharged car. So I know for some people it's kind of the way of life these days, but personally I still don't really like turbocharged cars. I mean, they produce more heat, they're more complex, and of course there's that turbo lag. You don't get that super quick response compared to when you're driving naturally aspirated cars. And so, you know, like the BRZ, the Z4, the E46, those cars are great at providing you that like real true analog snappy throttle response, whereas in this car, like if you're accelerating, you basically have to wait like a second or half a second before the boost really kicks in and before you really get moving. It's not slow, it's not terrible by any means, it's still quick enough, but it is something that you're always going to be mindful of and something that you'll feel day to day. I'd say another compromise with this car specifically, this car is really comfortable and it has enough features, but it doesn't have all of the nannies and gadgets that you probably want if you're looking at a true luxury car. I mean, it doesn't have heated seats, there's no backup camera, no Apple CarPlay. It is quiet in here, but it's not the quietest, if you know what I mean. As a whole, I'd say this car kind of just handled whatever I threw at it, right? I mean, I took this car on road trips, daily drives, you know, like spirited drives in the canyons and in the mountains and on some back roads, and this car just takes it like a champ, man. I mean, it's never left me stranded, never given me any problems. The check engine light has never even been on in this car in my ownership experience. I mean, how crazy is that, right? I've had this car for close to 4 years and damn near 60,000 miles, and the check engine light has never came on in during my time owning this car. I mean, it just goes to show like how reliable and dependable this car is. So why am I getting rid of this car? So you might be asking, if this car is so great and does everything so well, why would I want to get rid of this car? Well, basically, my daily driver is my 2011 Range Rover Sport. And my fiance's been driving this occasionally. She does work from home, so she doesn't really need to put many miles on this car. And she still has her old E46 ZHP. In fact, her family has two, a sedan and a coupe. And so we've just decided we're gonna get rid of this car. It was either this car or the Range Rover that we were gonna sell. And you know, unfortunately, the Range Rover just has a lot more utility for my use case, right? I've got 40-pound golden doodle, and you know, I haul a lot of people pretty frequently on a regular basis, so it just makes more sense to keep the Range Rover. And you know, sadly we had to offload this car to make some driveway space, so I'm really bummed to be losing this car, you know, but ultimately this car served me well for the last 4 years. I've got great memories in this car. We picked up our dog in this car, right? We drove 2 hours away, you know, 130 miles up to Roseville, and picked up our golden doodle puppy, a year ago. So, you know, I've got so many memories and laughs in this car, and you know, this car's been with me through three moves, up and down the Bay Area, and you know, it's been a loyal companion. You know, I'm really gonna miss this car, man. And you know, it's been an amazing, a really pleasant ownership experience, actually. And of all the cars that I've owned, this is a no compromise car. This has been the car that I've owned the longest. I mean, of all the cars that I've owned, this is the car that I've owned for the longest. You know, I kept it for almost 4 years, and I've never kept a car for more than 2 years, if that, since I got my driver's license 10 years ago. So yeah, man, I'm sad to see it go, but